Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Stella Herself podcast. As always, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Don't forget to screenshot this or take an aesthetic boomerang or pic of you listening in your car, on your hot girl walk, on your TV, etc. I love seeing where you guys listen. Or just take a screenshot, of it and post it on your story, tag me. I love seeing who listens, and thank you so much for all the support this past week and just of all time. Okay, so I'm actually pre-recording today's podcast because I will be back home with my family the week that this is gonna go up, and y'all know I gotta stay consistent with my content, but we still have some really great topics to talk about this week, and I'm just super excited. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Beverage check, y'all. It's about to be PMS week for me, so when you're PMSing, it's really important to avoid caffeine and sugar, especially with caffeine. I'm not a huge sweets person to begin with. Like, sometimes I'll want something, but I don't really have a sweet tooth. Just like I can't even think of like what I would crave. Like, sometimes I like really sour candy. I can fuck with chocolate, but I have to be in the mood, so sugar's not really an issue for me. But caffeine, y'all know I love my coffee. And I notice specifically, the week and a half before I'm supposed to start my period, whenever I have caffeine, it just doesn't hit the way that I want it to. Like, I just always end up feeling that, that like hyperactive but also exhausted feeling that you can get when you're like over caffeinated. Like, I will feel like that. So avoiding caffeine is important. So I have a mostly decaf black coffee, period, with a little bit of oat milk, and then just my water. Comment down below your beverages. I just feel like we're officially into summer now. It's like been consistently warm. The days are just so much longer. My birthday is coming up. So one of the topics that I've been asked to talk about is like the summer rebrand. And y'all know I'm low-key, I'm just going to say it and then we'll explain. I'm like low-key the queen of rebrands. If you've been following me for a while, I've gone through many different phases, both in vibes and aesthetically. And I feel like I'm finally, I was literally just thinking about this too. It was so funny before I even decided I was going to talk about this. But I feel like I'm finally at a place where like I consistently look the same. I feel like since last year, low-key 2 years ago, but I don't know, sometimes I'll get those 2 year ago Snap memes or Instagram archives, and it's like, my eyebrows look way different. But I feel like I look pretty similar to last year. So hopefully, because when you just like look back at yourself a year ago and you're like, my eyebrows were so bad. I did not know how to dress the way I do now. Like, my makeup was terrible. My hair, I didn't know what I was doing. I feel like I would always feel that, like, until now. And now I'm like, yeah, last year I was cute, period. So with that being said, I feel like my rebrand vibes as of, recently as in the past year or whatever, have just been so much more focused on the internal vibes and like just becoming the woman that I want to be, that I aspire to be, and I guess just getting back to my true self. I have the morning routine. I was going to say the aesthetic morning routine. It's not always aesthetic, but I have the morning routine. I know my kind of overall outfit vibes. Like, I'm not really pressed to like change something externally. That doesn't mean I don't care about how I look. Like, obviously I'm about to go get my hair done like next week, but on one hand it's normal to just go through like different phases of like, I don't know, your aesthetic, or like what do I like to wear, and so much of it can be expression and creativity, but I think just balancing that out with also keeping a healthy, I don't know, emotional life or soul life, just all the stuff that's under the surface, and not letting, I don't know, how you want to appear or like your Instagram feed or how you're perceived to be a distraction to, I don't know, things like issues that you need to overcome or hard things that maybe you're avoiding because they're painful to think about. I feel like the rebrand can be, just doing things for ourselves, or should I say like the summer vibe, and maybe it can be a rebrand if you want it to be, like, depending on how you feel. But I feel like it's just about doing what we want, like doing things for ourselves, putting ourselves first, and just kind of putting everything that we've learned into action. I just always feel like summer is like when life really happens. and I know a lot of people feel this way, but, you know, I really feel like the winter is like where I'm like going over the year before and like learning things and processing things. I feel like I have the least amount of memories in the winter because I just get very much in my routine and just like planning for the year and like doing stuff and staying inside and like blah blah blah. And then the summer is like, okay, life is happening. Like what goals do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? What do I want to experience? Who do I want to be? And then we're actually like putting it into action. So I feel like very excited for summer, and I just feel like it's gonna be fun. And life really, at least in my experience, has just been getting more fun, and I guess just better every year that I get older, because I realize more, and I feel like every year I'm just like that much more connected to myself. You know, I'm just that much closer to getting to my full potential in the sense of like healing and having, you know, my life in balance in all ways. And I don't know, I just feel like that's my number one priority. You know, I just want to feel good, and I want all aspects of my life to align. And I feel like even just over this past year, you know, over the past 6 months, I have changed a lot of things, and it's already made such a difference. So I'm just really intrigued to see what the second half of the year, and again, like this, it's always the second half of the year that I feel like, okay, this is like real life. But I mean, it really like it starts in the spring, but it's like, this is like, okay, let's get our shit really together. Like we got to live this out. And I think also like the more comfortable you are with yourself, the less focus you low-key put on just external stuff. Again, I'm not saying I don't care, like, oh my god, I just like don't even care like how the physical orb that harnesses my soul, the meat sack in which I inhabit while I'm living this earth life. Bitch, I like to be a baddie, okay? I like getting my nails done. I like being pretty. I like having a cute outfit. I like being cute. So I'm not saying like, oh my god, I'm just so above that. But I'm just saying like, I feel like when you're more connected to yourself, it's like just the less you care about it and the less you stress over it. I feel like in the past, almost I subconsciously thought of like a rebrand as like, oh, my Instagram feed is going to be different, or like, and I mean, that's different if you're a brand that's literally rebranding, but like, you know, oh, I'm going to look different. Like I'm going to like change up my style, and it's just things that are a little more superficial. And again, I'm not saying it's bad to care about how you look or like care about your outfits or wanting to change up your looks or like your style or anything, but it's just like making sure that's in balance with also like, is my life, you know, together? You know, do I feel good? How are the relationships in my life, like, etc. So it's just about keeping that balance. So with that being said, on that note, I made this TikTok about getting ready for a trip, you know, like girls versus guys typically. And what started this was, you know, my friend and I were getting ready to go to Vegas, and we're like planning our outfits and like whatever. And this TikTok came up on my For You page, because you know they'd be listening to your conversations. And it was basically just this girl like it was like everything I spent getting ready for my trip or something. And she was just showing her, you know, her nails, her lashes, her brows, the outfits that she bought. She got a wax, she got her apartment cleaned, and how all of that shit was like basically the price of her trip. And so I made a TikTok just talking about like how true that is. And then like, I'm wondering like, what do bros do to prepare for a trip? Like, I feel like they literally just get their hair cut and like maybe I think I said like maybe buy a new pair of shorts or something, and like that's it. And I mean, I know some bros, and when I say bro, I mean like, you know, straight, like the straight bros of the world. I feel like some bros are a little more bougie than others. You know, some bros do get their nails done, their feet done. You know, we all know a little fashion bro in our life. But I feel like in general, like bros, it's just like that classic, you know, when you're getting ready for a date, you got a new outfit, or you just put on a really cute outfit, you do your makeup, your hair, you tanned the night before. Maybe, like, I don't know, you just do all these things, and the bro just shows up, like, hopefully not in basketball shorts, but, like, you see the difference. And it's not like that TikTok of mine really blew up or anything, but, you know, there was a few people commenting, and most girls were relating, like, oh my god, that's so true, like, yeah, bros don't really do anything, we have to do so much. But then there were, of course, also people who were like, who says you have to do all that? No one's forcing you. I don't do that. And it's like, okay, well, just say you're not a baddie. Like, fine, like, whatever. But a bitch like me, I need my nails done. I want to be tan. I want to have my outfits together. Like, So then that just got me thinking as well, because, you know, I just had my whole spiel about like, oh, you shouldn't have to care about like, or you don't put so much emphasis on like how you look and your external image, and then I go and say this. But I think it's like, yeah, okay, no one's forcing me to, and it's not like, you know, the trip is going to be shit if I don't do these things. But I thought of this article that Emily Ratajkowski posted on both her IG story and Twitter a few months ago. It was at the beginning of May. And it's this article from the New York Times. I believe I talked about it on this podcast. I don't remember, but I think I did. And it's called The Feminist Case for Breast Reduction. My body has been objectified for as long as I could remember, so I decided to change it. And she's talking about, you know, obviously getting a breast reduction, and she just talks about plastic surgery, you know, is plastic surgery feminist, etc. And a quote that really stuck out to me that Emily, is it Ratajkowski or Ratajkowski? Well, the quote that she posted and that also really resonated with me is, "It seems clear to me now, any feminist position on cosmetic surgery that doesn't take women's relationships to their own body into account actually objectifies them." And this just reminds me of what I low-key always say about, you know, plastic surgery or anything like that. Like, not that I think it's feminist or even necessarily empowering to, you know, get your boobs done or get a BBL or even like get filler or Botox or anything. Like, I'm not going to walk around saying, I am so empowered because I got to make this choice for my body. When it's like, you're just falling into patriarchal and societal stereotypes of like what a woman should look like. But, and I think I even said this last week, like, it's not, like, that is like a result of the bigger issue. That is not like the problem, you know, that's not the root of the problem. That's a side effect. So when people just go around like shaming women, shaming people for getting work done, that is not effective. And that's just going to create more people to hide what they've gotten done, to not be transparent out of fear of being shamed. And ultimately, the thing is, I can tell you firsthand, you know, pretty privilege is real. That's not what I was going to say, but pretty privilege is real. And it's just like, the more you fit into society's mold of like what beauty is, the better experience you have. You get treated better. You get more free shit. People want to be nicer to you. You know, when you're out in public, you're more likely to get into the club. You're more likely to get things paid for. You're just going to have a better experience. Cardi B talked about getting illegal ass shots because she saw, when she was a stripper, you know, she saw all the other girls with huge asses making way more money. So as soon as she did that, she made more money. And so to also just ignore or deny that that's part of the experience, like, you're going to have a better time existing when you adhere to beauty standards. It's like, you got to take all these things into consideration. But no, people just want to be haters, like, you're so fake. You're so plastic. You just get so much work done. Too much. I like my girl's natural. As in, like, a natural beat and, like, a perfect body. And, like, and then you're just going to shame women for being natural. So it's like, you really can't win. So I'm never going to, like, promote getting work done or promote surgery. But I do think when, it's a topic of discourse, we need to take into consideration all the sides. And it's like, well, why do women get surgery? Why do we spend all this money before a trip to get our brows done, our lashes, our tan, our nails, whatever? It's like, it's not like we just woke up, like, women just decided to wake up and like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. It's like, it's the result of something. And we do feel better when we do it because we're like treated better. And I'm not saying that's like good, but it's just like facts. And that's the experience that we have. So I am going to have a better trip when I feel my best. And part of, unfortunately, being my best is like looking the prettiest that I can, which is low-key like the most adhered to beauty standards. And, maybe you don't relate to this at all, but I just know that it is the experience of a lot of women. So yeah. And then also, and I know I've talked about this before as well, and this is kind of different than like getting ready for a trip, but it's like, people talk about women's bodies so much. So often it's the same people who are saying like, oh, you should disclose if you get work done, blah, blah, blah. Who want to be on Twitter, like critiquing women's bodies, critiquing celebrities' bodies. You know, men and women will do this and like just analyzing their bodies. And it's like, this is just the world we live in. Like, yeah, I'm not saying it's right, but like people are going to pick apart each other's bodies and just, you know, point out everything they think is wrong with it. Oh, did she get work done? Did she not? And it's like, do you realize this is like part of the problem? Like the fact that we're like making it such a thing is like what drives women and people to have insecurities and want to change them. So circling back around, let me know, do you prepare for a trip or not? Oh my God, it's just like ridiculous. Like people, it's always like that one person that's like, well, I don't do this. I don't get ready for it. It's like the pick me vibes. I could never wear that much makeup. I don't know how you do it. I could never spend that much time getting ready. I don't know how you do it. I could never be one of those women who shows my body off. Like I don't relate to that. Like, so does that make you feel better about yourself? Like, okay. Anyway, so what's the takeaway from this? I don't really know. It's like, I guess, be mindful. And again, having your life in balance. Like, it's okay to be a baddie. It's okay to put on some lashes. It's okay to fake tan. It's okay to get your hair done. And then also, like, this is just like a funny observation, but you know when people like, okay, so there was this TikTok. It was actually a really good TikTok. This older woman was talking about how she let her hair grow out. So her hair was like this really pretty, like silver gray. She had long hair too. And she was like talking about why she decided. Just like people are so dramatic. Like she was like I was just at the beauty salon getting my hair done one day and I just looked around at all the women getting their hair done and how we're just like robots in a factory line trying to perfect ourselves. And it's like, bitch, sometimes you just have a little grow out and you just need to go get it done. I was going to say because you have an event coming up, but really just because, like, is it really like always that deep, you know? It's just like, but I mean, happy for her, period. And I think also all of this just goes in, like when I say, oh, the solution is to shut the fuck up, I think what I mean by that is, you know, veering more towards body neutrality rather than body positivity. Because, you know, body positivity is like, yes, period queen, get those, look at your tiger stripes. Oh my God, yes, girl boss. And it's like body neutrality would just be like, nothing. Okay, you have stretch marks, great. You don't, great, whatever. And it's low-key, like, sometimes body positivity gives me the vibe of someone commenting under a pic, like, I love your confidence. It's like, what do you mean by that? Because subtext, well, you actually look horrible, but, like, I'm so happy that you felt comfortable posting this. I would never. And with all this being said, like, I just, like, this is stuff I think about. I'm not saying, like, oh, yeah, I myself am completely free from the shackles of beauty standards and caring about how I look and, like, I don't know, having insecurities or, like, yes, I am 100% in practice of body neutrality all the time. Like, no, bitch, it affects me too. But this is just things I think about and things I observe. So, disclaimer. Okay, so also I wanted to talk about this briefly. But I know it's like the topic is just like so, especially at this point, because I'm pre-recording this. I know at this point the topic is just so burnt out, but I just have to talk about it. And like, okay, the whole Kim Kardashian wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress and how there's like photos now of like, oh my God, the dress was damaged. And like so many people are just like in uproar about how this dress was damaged. I'm like, why do you care? Because number one, it doesn't affect you. Number two, this dress was in Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. And this is the thing I don't get. It's like, okay, yes, there's like history in, you know, white people and Europeans, you know, going to other cultures and stealing, you know, their artifacts and bringing them back to, you know, whatever their European country is and like putting them in museums and like, oh my God. Or like, oh, we're discovering this when really you're just taking from a culture. This is like two white women like it, like I would get if people were upset about like, oh, she's wearing this like historical dress that's like from this culture that's not her own, and like that has so much historical and cultural significance, and oh my god, it's damaged on top of that. Like that would be like a different story. But it's literally like these are two women who were like, you know, known for being in Hollywood. The dress was in fucking Ripley, believe it or not. Like, why do people care? And people are like, oh my god, the history. And I think part of like what makes Marilyn Monroe such an icon is like that she was very over sexualized and, you know, known for her body and known for her sex appeal, and with that, you know, experienced a lot of shame and slut shaming and all of that, which Kim Kardashian also does at this time. So it's like, I'm sure these same people would not be like such a Marilyn Monroe fan, or like not fan, but like sticking up for her so much if this was like back in the day. Because even now, like if a woman, you know, flaunts her body or whatever, like we're just so shamed for that. It's like, so if in however many years the new it girl decides to wear one of Kim Kardashian's dresses, like are people going to be like as upset, you know, like, oh my god, this has so much historical significance, Kim Kardashian, like. But then, as we can see at the time, people are just shaming her and like, oh my god, you have a sex tape. You're a horrible mother. And it's like, people just like don't use brand. And it's just like on top of it all, it doesn't affect you. So why are you mad? It's like, who cares? Like, I don't get it. Obviously, I'm sure Marilyn Monroe's estate had to approve this. Bro, fucking the museum had to approve this. Like, it's like, why do you care? Like, and again, it would be different if it was like a dress from someone else, like, or another culture, or like, but it's like, it's literally just like another white woman who was famous in Hollywood, or like, you know, famous, but like who was in Hollywood. Like, I don't, like, why are you so triggered? Like, but yeah, and I just say that like not because I'm like, oh my god, I'm such a Kim Kardashian stan, even though I feel like I've been talking about them a lot recently, but I think just with the new show and everything, I just see a lot of articles about them or TikToks, and just like there's a lot of discourse, and I just feel like so much of what they represent, it can be like broken down into topics that are like have a more significant meanings. So like I'm like, oh my god, I'm such a fan. Not that I'm like not a fan, but I don't know. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, were you bothered by that? I just think like what bothers me about like them getting so much hate is like so often it's just so fueled by like misogyny and sexism. Like, obviously, if you're gonna critique someone for valid reasons like cultural appropriation or, you know, stealing from, I know like some of their designs have been stolen from other artists or designers, and like black designers, without getting credit, like that, those are the things you need to be like critiquing people on. Or like, you know, oh my god, she's a billionaire, like hoarding wealth. Or even like, you know, not disclosing when you've had work done, and, you know, saying, oh, it's just from working out, when like obviously it's not. Like, those are all valid things, and I'm sure there's a million other things you could validly like critique someone on. But like when people just hate on them, or any female, period, any other female celebrity, and then it's like, oh, well, because she has a new boyfriend, she's a whore and a terrible mother, and because she said on her show that's fun and trendy that she was DTF because of the BDE, she is just a disgrace. It's like, what? And especially throughout, you know, her whole divorce, Kim's whole divorce from Kanye, and, you know, Kanye's rampages that he was going on, and just seeing, you know, how much hate Kim got. Like, oh, well, you're the one tearing this family apart. You know, you need to stay with him. And it's like that just seeing that happens, and that, you know, a woman of that much status and wealth can just experience the same, not the same thing completely, but like just that same kind of vibe. It's like, then think of all the women who experience, you know, that kind of relationship or that kind of like emotional abuse, who don't have access to that much. Just such a representation of how the world views women, and especially just women who show their bodies, are sexual, whatever, which, you know, a lot of us are. Oh my God, you have sex as a woman, like as a grown woman, like what? It's like, what year is this, babe? Like, oh my God. So I'm actually, not that this is like the greatest segue. I mean, it is, but like, feels weird to go from the Kardashians to this, but just on the topic of like feminism, started a new book, y'all, Talking Back by Bell Hooks. In this collection of personal and theoretical essays, Hooks reflects on her signature issues of racism and feminism. Among her discoveries is that moving from silence into speech is for the oppressed, the colonized, the exploited, and those who stand and struggle side by side. A gesture of defiance that heals, making new life and new growth possible. Super excited to read this. Y'all know I read earlier this year All About Love by Bell Hooks. It's so funny because I feel like that book got so trendy. I had seen a couple people read it, maybe even just like one person read it before I read it, and then all of a sudden it seemed like I was seeing it everywhere. It was so funny. That book's really good. I would say so far this book seems a little more dense than that one, but it definitely has strong ideas, and I'm just really excited to finish it. So let me know if you've read this or if you've read any other of her books. I've only read All About Love, and I know she has quite a few others, so I'm excited to read this one and then hopefully read another. So we're finally back on the book wave. I know I was talking about for a while, and this is not even the book I know I was talking about. I was telling y'all, it seemed like I was taking a break from reading, but really it's just because the book that I wanted, which is When God Was a Woman, it's still on hold, bro. Like that book must be a hot commodity, or they just don't have that many copies. So this one was available within like a week of putting it on hold, so shout out to that. But yeah, also announcement. I did in fact purchase Sex and Rage by Eve Babbitt's. So good. And I think just the vibe of, because basically it's a novel and it's about this girl from LA, and you know she wants to be a writer. I feel like it's loosely based like on Eve Babbitt's, or like parts of it have to be from her own experiences. She ends up going to New York, so the second part of the book is like based in New York, and I'm going to New York soon, so I was like, bro, I need to like bring this book with me. Like I need to like read it on the plane. Like I just need to have it. So I ordered that yesterday. So y'all know these days when I buy a book, it means it's good. Something I get asked a lot, and that you guys asked when I most recently posted it on my story of like, oh, what should I talk about on the podcast, is basically how to make new friends as an adult and how to meet people. The question specifically was how to meet guys, like how to meet people to date. So I asked you guys on my story what has worked for y'all. But before we read those, I just wanted to give a few thoughts on like my own experience. Number one, and I actually saw a TikTok that kind of backed this up. And once I thought about it, I was like, that's so true. I wish I could find it. It was like a while ago. It was not like I saw this TikTok and decided to talk about this. It was like a few weeks ago. I don't even know if I saved it. But she was basically talking about how you don't need to date traditionally to like find someone. In the sense of, think about like, you know, so often we meet people through mutual friends, through, I don't know, something that we go do. Like, I don't know, if you go to church, you know, we meet people at school, we meet people at work, and those are just like natural connections. I can literally think of like pretty much all the friends I have that are in relationships, they met through mutual friends. And that's not to like discredit anyone that's met on a dating app or whatever, but I think often, especially because these days we have access to dating apps and just like, you know, online dating, even like Instagram and whatnot, there's low-key this pressure of like, oh, if I'm single, I need to be doing that. I need to be dating. I need to have a roster, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you're feeling exhausted by that, you don't have to. And if you don't, that doesn't mean you have to give up hope on dating. You know, if you don't want to do the dating app thing, if you don't want to, I think that's also part of why I don't really like dating apps, is like, I like to have someone that like, I don't know, it's like if you meet through mutual friends, you like kind of have like the reassurance, like, okay, like I know a little bit more about them than if it's just like a complete random from a totally different social circle that I know nothing about. it's just like a little, it feels safer to me. And also, I don't know why I just thought of this, but I've seen also TikToks of girls on the East Coast, like in New York specifically, saying that the dating culture is so different there, and people will like go on dates. Like people will like go on multiple dates a week, and it's just like very like everyone's on the same page of like, okay, let's like go on a date. I forget what she said about it in LA, but it's like so just like, it's like a lot more slow paced, which just like is the stereotype for the West Coast in general, you know? So let me know, I guess, what is you, like, where do you live and what is your dating app experience? Yeah, I just can't, bro. And then it's just like, what if someone I know sees me on there and I'm just like, I don't like it. Like, I just really don't like it. I think the only way I'm going to go on it is if I'm like in a different city to like meet people or find out like, I don't know, what's popping tonight or whatever. But in LA, hell no. Then I'm going to find you on Instagram and we have like 30 mutuals, and it's just like, I would say just like say yes to more opportunities. And if you're like me, if you kind of like have some social anxiety low key, it can be scary to like go somewhere where there's going to be like a lot of people you don't know, or like, oh, if someone invites you to like their little kickback, but it's like, I don't know anyone there. It's like, those are the opportunities where you have to be like, yes, fuck it, I'm gonna go, like, and just kind of take the risk, because that's how you end up like meeting people. And when I think about like certain people I've met, I mean, friends and like baes, low key, it's like, bro, if I had said no to going out that night or like going to that event, whatever it was, it's like, I wouldn't have met this person. And then it's sometimes like, I wouldn't have met this person, then therefore I wouldn't have met this person, then therefore I wouldn't have met this person. Like, when you like track it back like that, it's like, wow. And that all just came down to like me saying yes to that plan. So sometimes you have to take the risk. And then also, I think just being mindful of where you go out. I've talked about this before, and I feel like this has been one of my huge awakenings of this year, is just like, okay, like if I want to be in like a healthy relationship, it's like, bro, am I gonna find that at this like venue with all the like scammers? Like, no. Like, yeah, LOL. But like, if you're trying to like actively find new friends or like find someone to potentially be in a relationship with, it's like you low-key have to like be a little more selective about like the type of places you go, and just asking yourself like, if I had a boyfriend, like, where would I want him to hang out at? And then like go there. But I think also that's part of like what I was talking about earlier with the summer rebrand, is like doing things for yourself, and from that, not being afraid to do things alone. This is where like solo travel can come in such handy, and just using that mentality in your own city, you know? And I try to tell myself this all the time. I'm like, I can stay at home, okay? Like, like I really can. So just like pushing myself to just, you know, even just like go pick up food from a restaurant that I haven't been to or whatever. Like, not even necessarily eat there, but just like going to pick it up. You know, you take a new route, you're in this like new place, you never know who might be sitting there, who might also be picking up food, who might be sitting at the bar. People always say, oh, Whole Foods is a great place to meet a guy. It's like, I need some like evidence, because people always say that, but I've never heard a story of like someone being like, yeah, I met my boyfriend at Whole Foods. So are y'all just like, I feel like people just see like a hot guy at the grocery store and run away. And then they tell everyone, oh my God, yeah, that's where you need to be. Did anything come from that, bitch? Like, no. I feel like last summer was the first summer that I started just like doing more things alone, or like showing up to places solo, or like, I don't know, like leaving by myself, you know, like, and it does allow you a lot of freedom to just like talk to different people and like just be on your own time. And it's like, okay, if I'm not feeling this, I can just leave. So I guess it comes down to just getting out of your comfort zone. And again, this goes for relationships and friendships. So now I just want to read a few of the submissions that y'all have. This girl says art classes. My mom is always telling me to take a class, or like, she's always like, well, why don't you do an activity? So low-key, okay. Dating apps, Bumble BFF. Let me know if you've used Bumble BFF. I've only heard, not horror stories, but the two people I know that have used Bumble BFF, they both had like bad, well, I guess one of them had a good experience, but two people I know have had bad experiences where the girls were just like so mean. But I mean, that's like two people. So let me know if you've used it. Work, local recreational sports league, something easy like kickball. That's smart. See, joining like an activity. Because in school, you know, you have those activities. And, you know, you're going to the same place every day. You're in that community. But when you're an adult, and especially if you like work from home or you're, you know, an independent contractor, you're not like going somewhere every day, seeing the same people, whatever. It's like, where am I supposed to go? And that's why people would like go to the bar or go to the club, because that's like a group of people that you can be around. EDC, Coachella, walking your dog at the park, or bars, Instagram. Literally met my fiance at the club. This reminds me of Nicole Richie when she was like, I met my husband the old-fashioned way at the club. So true. Mutual friends, yes. Facebook groups, sports, alumni groups from college. Multiple people are saying work. So see, it's like you don't need to be like dating like on a quest. I mean, if you want to do that, do it. But it's like if you're feeling burnt out from that and like don't want to do that anymore and you need a break, it's like you don't have to give up hope. Like it's not like that's the only option for finding someone or meeting someone or even just finding friends, you know? The beach, this girl says, I go by myself mostly. The gym and work. Yeah, the gym is another place where like, you know, you go, you're like with a group of people, you usually see the same people a lot, or there'll be like new people. With that being said though, like I always hesitate. And I was told once, like this lady was like, well, you live in an apartment building, right? Like, do they ever have, you know, like mingling events or like whatever? I'm like, they do. But the thing is, like with the gym, low key with work, with meeting someone in your apartment complex, it's like, then if it doesn't work out, you have to see them all the time. Or you have to like fucking readjust your schedule to avoid them. And it's just, I mean, yeah, it's like, sometimes you just have to take a risk, put yourself out there. You never know what could work out. Now saying this all out loud, I'm like, do I just not want to be happy? I'm like, well, I don't like online dating, but I also don't want to meet someone, you know, through anywhere that I go, because like, then I'll have to see you again if it doesn't work. I think it's just about being like open and saying fuck it, low-key. Okay. Low-key, the most important thing is just having a strong relationship with yourself, because when you're confident in yourself, when you feel comfortable and confident doing things alone, going places alone, going to the beach alone, going to eat alone, you know, just exploring something new, part of your city by yourself, like that's, and you're just in that good frame of mind of like, I'm not doing this because I want to go find somebody, or like, oh, I'm doing this but I feel like lonely, like, oh, I wish someone was with me, which like that's normal to feel. But like when you're in that good, just confident energy, like I'm doing this because I want to, I feel like that's when you like attract the most magical experiences, or just like I feel like that's when you're most likely to meet someone that you're really gonna vibe with, because you're like vibrating at your highest level, and like you're just more likely to, you know, talk to a stranger or compliment somebody, or like say, hey, do you come here often? You know those videos on TikTok where the girl she's like usually on the beach or something, and she'll just like pick up guys, and it's like a hidden camera, and like it's a prank, bro, but she'll just be so bold, like she will just walk up to guys, and it's like obviously this is like for a video, but just, I mean, assuming by the guys' reactions it's not fake, like I guess you never know, but they always have like good reactions, like they're always like, wow, like they're smiling, they're happy, they're like flabbergasted, they're like, oh my god, like this girl just came up to me, asked for my number, she's like, hey you, I need your number in my phone right now. And it's like, bro, I feel like I would never do that, like I'd be so scared, but it's just like proof that it works. So it's just like once you cultivate that good relationship with yourself, anything is possible. So comment down below, where do you meet people, whether it's friends, whether it's dates, etc. Where have you had luck in the past? What hasn't worked out for you? And yeah, so I feel like that's low-key all I have to talk about. There is a Cancer new moon on Tuesday, which is, you know, the time for manifestation and putting those good vibes out there for the new upcoming month. I am so excited, y'all, for July, because, you know, I'm going on my little trip. It's my birthday month. It's just like the peak of summer. So definitely write down your manifestations, your affirmations. And as far as the new moon being in Cancer specifically, this says, Change can be gentle. With the new moon in Cancer, we're prompted to enter a new reality that promotes self-preservation by releasing limitations and old structures in our reality that are no longer serving us. Your feeling of safety is now related to your home, family, and related activities such as cooking and gardening. Due to your rich emotional manifestation, you can create a real sense of belonging in the world. So set those intentions, y'all, set those manifestations, and let's just plan how we want this next upcoming month to be. So thank you so much for listening. I love you guys so much and appreciate all of your feedback and comments and just input on whatever topics I discuss. So let me know what you want me to talk about next week, and I will talk to you guys then. Bye, everyone.